Hello everyone, this video is composed by two parts. In the first part of the video, we are going to develop a teaching project for a class in the second cycle. This is the third or the fourth grade of primary school, designing a technology-enhanced assignment. Let's do it. First of all, let's start talking about the goals from the curriculum. The students are going to follow the Spanish curriculum, especially this one. The general specific competence of this cycle are these ones. In simple words, they have to know English and digital competence, among others, focusing on the contents of the activities that I am going to present in a few seconds. The specific competence that involves are these ones. And regarding the basic knowledge, that are skills, knowledge and attitudes that constitutes the contents of an area or field and whose learning is necessary for the acquisition of specific skills, the task includes this one: in communication, multilingualism, and interculturality. We will center in detail about the description of people, objects, and places, with the respective vocabulary and descriptive adjectives. Now, we are going to talk about the learning design, that is the framework that supports learning experiences, and it refers to deliberate choices about what, when, where, and how to teach. I am explaining it using the ACAD framework, that is the activity-centered analysis and design. We can say that it is intended to support both the analysis and design of complex learning environments. There are three key dimensions to the framework that are open to alteration through design.
Set design.
How we arrange the physical or virtual learning environment, and any artifact, tools, and resources to support learning. All these things physically situated learning activities, and in our case, we will need computers, tablets, or any electronic device with internet connections. The space should be one that the students are comfortable to realize the task. In their desk may be the best option. And the tools that they are going to use are Quizlet, Classroom, Lumen 5, and CISO.
Epistemic design
Involves proposing tasks, make suggestions about good things for students to do. A task is a suggestion about something that is worth doing, and that sometimes involves subtasks. That, in the case, are the activities that they have to do: the questionnaire, the description, the video, and the comments in the video of another colleague.
social design
Is how we propose how people work together, for example, working alone, in groups, or teams. Also, the roles that they want them to play, and the division of work between them. In the realization of our activity, they would work alone, and then they would have to comment on one video of another colleague. The three dimensions interact with each other to support the design of complex learning environment by thinking about what productive learning activity would look like in relation to intended learning outcome, what environment and tool will best support a student with the task, and what social configuration is likely to further facilitate student learning. We are going to move on and see how these two students realize the task. Wait a minute. You will be probably thinking about what ethical problems could we, our students, or the parents find doing this activity, and how to solve it. Well, the most relative ethical problem that we could find doing this activity in the classroom is that not every child has an electronic device, a tablet, a computer, or even a mobile phone. But as we are doing it in the class, we could lend some tablet that the school have to the students who do not have one. The very classmates that do have an electronic device could laugh at the one that does not have one, and this may have a hard time and feel embarrassed. In these cases, what could be done would be to scold the person who laughed and explain that not everyone can afford such an expensive device, and that nothing happens, that we leave to them, and that's it. Another most frequent problem doing this assignment will be that the internet connection does not go well, that they cannot enter, and if the internet does not go, I won't be able to master. Maybe we would do it in a traditional way with papers and pencils, but it won't be as entertaining, and they won't work with digital tools. As I said before, the tools that they will work with are Quizlet, Classroom, Lumen 5, and CISO. First of all, they have to do a Quizlet about vocabulary and expression that they will be able to use in creating the description they will make later about a person, a place, and an object. In this web, what they need to do are the questionnaires that will be available for them, so that they learn the vocabulary that we explained in class related with the description of person, of a place, and of an object. These are the questionnaires. Now you are seeing a small representation of how to make a new questionnaire and how the tool is inside. In the description box, you have a more in-depth video of the tool. But you will be wondering what can be the ethical problems that can happen using this tool and how I will solve it. Well, the problems that they could find with Quizlet are, for example, in terms of understanding the vocabulary, just not because of using the tool, but for the contents inside. In the case of using the tool, what is asked, maybe they will not be able to access it alone. So what I should do is facilitate the link so that they can only click on there and the questions appear on their screens. The second thing that they will do is make the descriptions using the vocabulary and expression that they reviewed before, and use the instructions that will be available on the classroom web. For this, they will be using Classroom. There, they will have instruction for the realization of the text, and they will have to send to me the description that they made so that I can correct them and give them some feedback about any mistake or anything I consider relevant. Here I am again. With Classroom, the problems that they will find out is maybe that they don't find the group class or that they don't know how to send me the descriptions, but it is as simple as making a comment in the task that they will have. If they have problems finding the task, I will help them finding it, and showing them where the section of comment is. That is just above the instruction. When I correct the description and give them the go-ahead, they will start making the videos through Lumen 5. Here, they have to put the description as it indicates, and it generates a video itself. But if they don't like it or it is not really similar to what they want, they can change and create their own one, which personally I prefer. Hello. With Lumen 5, the problem that they could find is maybe that they don't know how to change the pictures or what. But the only thing they have to do is to click on the picture that they will want to change, and the option that they have to change, it will appear, so they will discover the options rapidly. And the last tool is CISO. In this one, what they have to do is upload their videos. With the last tool, that is in the case of CISO, the problem that they will find is that the video doesn't charge and doesn't upload. What they should do in this case is send it to me, to my mail, and I will post it for them. Then, when I check all the videos, I will tell them to comment on another video but not theirs, a colleague one. The added value of using digital tools in this case is that the students will learn how to use different tools and get used to them because they are going to use it in a not too distant future, as we use technology for doing everything. And if they are capable of learning through them, it's a fantastic opportunity for students to introduce them. They will get more engaged and eager to learn more and discover new things thanks to these technologies. According to the official bulletin, the evaluation criteria are the benchmarks that indicate performance levels expected in students or the situations or activities to which they refer to the specific competence of each area at a certain moment of its learning process. What I would do to evaluate this task is watch the videos that they will upload and check if they have learned vocabulary from the questionnaires and correct the way that they make the descriptions. I will give them some feedback so that they make their best description that they can. Talking about how this activity improves our personal learning environment, that is the combination of tools, people and services that make up individualized sources and approaches to learning, and it's centered around the individual's effort to learn, I would say that these type of activities, as they are different from the traditional ones, open children's emotion to learn, and they want to overcome themselves. So they will want to do more and more and discover new things, new concepts, new tools in which they learn them, tools that they can do themselves, and so on. They will never stop wanting to innovate. With these activities, they will discover digital competence, they will learn new vocabulary related to descriptive persons, places and objects, and they will learn to give their opinions about something from another person in a positive way. To conclude, resuming PLA with a phrase that stuck with me is set of tools, sources of information, connections, and activities that each person uses regularly to learn. Let's continue with the second part of the video. The first question I'm going to answer is question 3. that is explaining 5 critical elements of this course that I would like to include permanently on my PLA, supporting my justification with a diagram. This is the diagram that I have made. If I had to choose 5 elements of this course that I would like to include permanently on my PLA, this would be: firstly, I would like to include permanently on my PLA Padlet, because I consider it a really useful tool and easy for the students to write, upload pictures, videos, all in all to share their projects and have them all sorted there, and be able to access them whenever they want to review things. The next tool I really like is Canva. For me, it was a discovery this year. I had never used this tool before. It is so impressive the sheer amount of things that you can create. You can create whatever you like to. It is perfect for doing cool presentations. Another plus point is that if you are working in teams, you can share it with all the members and all of us can edit and modify the presentations that are being created. This tool I am talking about now, I think that everybody knows about, because it is the traditional one that we use if we have to do anything. Write tests, take some notes, do any project with our colleagues, or anything. And yes, you are right, I am talking about Google Drive. Here you can make whatever you like and in the format that you prefer, Word or save it in a PDF format. Next, I discovered a new way of presenting projects, thanks to my teacher, and I consider that it is fascinating because as you have a limited time of talking, you go to the main point and you don't roll up in irrelevant information. If my students in any moment have to present a project, I will tell them to try Pechacha. It will be good for them so that the presentation don't get really long and heavy. 20 slides in 20 seconds each of them, so that it's 6 minutes and 40 seconds in total. The last one that I would like to mention is Mindomo, which this diagram was created with. As you can see, it's perfect to make the schemas, diagrams and any graphic element that you would like to make. It is really simple to use, I have never had any problem using it, and you can also share with your colleagues, so that they see what you are writing and they can do edit it too. And the other question that I am going to answer is choosing 3 areas of the T-Competitive that I consider more relevant, and from each component explaining and justifying what does it mean and what have I learned on this course that should be useful for this part of the competence. The European Framework for the Digital Competence of Educators, T-Competitive, is a framework that describes what it is for educators to be digitally competent. It provides a general reference frame to support the development of the educators, especially in digital competence. It identifies the key components of digital competence in 6 areas: professional engagement, digital resources, teaching and learning, assessment, empowering, and facilitating learner digital competence. Choosing 3 of them that I consider more relevant are: inside of the educator's professional competence, the area 1, professional engagement. That is the ability of educators to use digital technologies for professional interactions with colleagues, students and parents, and other interested parties for their own professional development, for the benefit of the group and for ongoing innovation in the organization, and the teaching profession is an expression of their level of digital competence. Area 1's primary focus is on this. It should be useful to know how to communicate by internet, as we will need to communicate with the students as well as with their parents and inform them about appointments, events, things that they will need to know. Related with educator pedagogic competence, from 4 of them I will choose Area 2, digital resources. Teachers today have access to a multitude of digital educational resources that can be used in their lessons. One of the key competencies any education needs to develop is the ability to deal with this variety, to efficiently identify resources that best fit their learning objectives, learners group, and teaching style, to structure the abundance of material, to establish connections, and to modify and develop their own digital resources to support them teaching. They must also understand how to use and handle digital content appropriately. Something that I learned on this course and is practically for this part is to know how to create new digital educational resources, as you need to modify or edit existing digital resources, or as I said, creating new ones right from the start. And finally, in learner's competence, Area 6, facilitating learner digital competence. One of the transversal competencies that education needs to instill in students is digital competence, while promoting more transversal competencies is an essential component of education's digital competence, even though using digital technology to do so only constitutes a small portion of their overall digital competence. Because of this, the T-Competitive framework should allocate a section to this capacity. In relation of this area, what I had learned on this course and is convenient for this part is to analyze, compare and critically evaluate the credibility and reliability of sources of data, information and digital content, because not every information that you find on the internet is true. You need to process the information and dig deeply on what you are looking for. To finish with a little bit of reflection about the video, well, I'm not a person that likes making itself, but honestly I consider that I do my best and I work really hard trying to search for information, brainstorm ideas and choose the best one. See that the information is correct and try to do the best as possible. I hold the view that everything that we make has to be done the best as possible. If not, why do we do something the wrong way? It doesn't make any sense. So if I had to mark this video not because it's mine, I would take into account every detail, for example, the video quality, the sound is okay, the information inside. All in all, as it has everything I mentioned before, I would mark its minimum as a 7A, because maybe I have some mistake that I have not noticed or something like that, but never mind. As the song by Bobby McFerrin said, don't worry, be happy. Talking about the rules we had performed in this course, I assume that all of them had their difficulties, some more than the others, but each of them were chancy. The most important rule that I have performed in this course, I believe, was the star one, because you were the group representative and if something went wrong during the presentation, you were the responsible of the group. You were the voice of the group and you couldn't fail, or all the work behind was going through the bin. Regarding the most challenging one, I can say that was being the facilitator. Not just because you have to be aware of the task, but also because you have to motivate them. And if you are nervous and afraid of how the task is doing, the only thing that is not going to go through your mouth is like, come on, we can do it. Just because you are thinking that everything is going wrong. But maybe that's not correct and the task is being perfect. But your mind is thinking for more and you can't do anything. But you should. You have to keep the team together and strong. And I close the video with this phrase from Zuckerberg.